Alright, hey guys, my name is Dom. I go by Dom the Healer. If you haven't already, please don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I post another video. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, all the information should be down in the description box below. If you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram is goodfella.dom. My Twitter is goodfelladom. My TikTok is dom.thehealer. Better. Okay, so today's reading is upon request. A woman by the name of Wilma Marks in my comment section on one of my videos had asked for this. Today's reading is going to be pick a card. Why did my adult children leave me, or why did my adult children leave? I believe I'm not saying it specifically, but I think that's like the overall gist of it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why your adult kids left you? All right. So that's what today's reading is going to be on. So, if you haven't already, skip to your timestamps and I will meet you guys there, alright? Alright, see ya, bye. Alright, what's good to my pile one? This is why your adult children left you. Please don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I post another video. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me or make a donation to my channel, all that information should be down in the description box below. If you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram is goodfelladom, my Twitter is goodfelladom, and my TikTok is dom.thehealer, alright? So, without further ado, I hate when this happens because I'm not taking messages until I pray. If you are not a love and light, you are banned from this reading. Please exit now. Only those of love and light are allowed to be here. If you are not a love and light, you are banned from this reading. Please exit now. Only those of love and light are allowed to be here. Angels, for my pile number one here. One second, guys. If you are not a love and light, you are banned from this reading. Please exit now. Only those of love and light are allowed to be here. Alright, angels, for my pile number one here. Why did their adult children leave them? I heard abuse. Sex abuse, physical abuse. But this is like abuse that had maybe it happened when they were like really, really young and they got swept under the rug. We got the chariot as the first cut out here. I feel like these kids could have like flat out ran away from you. Excuse me. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like these kids could have flat out ran away from you. Someone here could have a Cancer moon. Maybe your children have a Cancer moon. These are like very sensitive kids. They could be millennials. These people are, or these children, they have like a low tolerance for certain types of shit, honestly. Like these are like the kids these are very rebellious children, okay? These are probably, I think, age of Aquarius children. We're in the age of Aquarius right now. But these children they have a sense of like rebelling against like the stereotypical norm and understanding that they don't have to listen to their parents because their parents they don't know everything. Like there's a lot of things in this world that are changing today. How my parents have been kind of like this, where they still approach things in like a very old school type of way that I just can't deal with no more, because it don't make any sense to me no more. Like, I can be who I want to be. In fact, you pushing those like ideals on, or them pushing those ideals onto me that they have, that they think are still real, um, is insulting. It's actually kind of disrespectful. Like, just because you don't understand what's going on doesn't mean that, one, I don't, and doesn't mean that, two, you can tell me what to do. These kids, I feel, have grown to be defiant. These kids are mirroring you. I'm hearing mirror self. So it's like, let's say if you were like very verbally abusive to your children while they were growing up and very disrespectful to them, whether you thought of it as not because you're thinking that, hey, I'm an authority figure, I can do whatever I want. Um, yeah, they're gonna do the same thing to you. They probably already did do the same thing to you. They don't care. But that's that. We have the Two of Pentacles right here. These children were seeking a balance that they weren't giving. It was like a balance in giving and receiving, because I feel like maybe growing up they probably had to give a lot to their parents. However, their parents did not give a lot to them. Or it's like, as a kid, it's like, what can you possibly give your parent? Like, it seems like they had to give up like material stuff, or like sacrifice the things that they wanted in order to appease you. And, well, they left you because they got tired of it. Somebody's here chasing their dreams. Nine of Wands in reverse. This has to do with self care. I feel like your children, they probably didn't know much about self love and self care. Therefore, they had to leave you. Someone went away to college to do this. Someone probably just like flat out left. They got their own apartment, whether it was across town, across the country, whatever the case may be, or across the world. But it's like they left to go take care of themselves because they felt like they had to do it a lot when they were children, perhaps. And yeah, that's another thing. They probably felt like they had to take care of themselves a little bit too much growing up, and they became so like independent, or like interdependent, if that's like the proper way of saying that, interdependent. I don't know, to the point where they felt like, you know what, like this woman, this man, they don't care about me no more. They're not paying attention to me. Like, I don't care. Like, I can go and do whatever I want to do. They made their money like in their own little secret way and just packed their stuff up. They could have secretly moved out. We got the Star card right here. So yeah, someone is like chasing their dreams. They're keeping the hope alive and being optimistic about life. Like, yes, maybe my childhood wasn't the best, but I know there's something that life has to offer me. They went to go find that within someone else because they couldn't find that within you. Therefore, they held back on showing you love, because I feel like this child could have been like, or these children could have been like very loving towards you growing up, but then it got to a certain point where it's just like, wait a second, like, I'm doing all of this and he or she is acting like that. Like, no. Like, I'm doing all of this and taking care of, like, I feel like whoever this is, if you're a parent watching this, you must be like a bit of a narcissistic parent. I also feel like there's this energy of like, maybe you got hurt. I feel like maybe whoever's watching this, you could have gotten like raped or something when you were a child. So it's like, let's say if that happened at the age of like 12 for you, you're still operating out of a 12-year-old mindset, and it's like hurting everyone around you. And the universe is clearing people out of your life so you can deal with it. And if you don't deal with it, you're just gonna die miserable. We got the Two of Cups. Someone here was chasing a divine feminine or a divine masculine, but I feel like this is a strong divine feminine. They were trying to go and like be in a relationship with this person. But I feel like you guys kept interfering. Maybe you watching this. Let's just keep it real, because I don't like this energy. I'm not gonna lie. This does not make me feel good. Maybe you suffer from like low self esteem or something like that. So maybe when it came down to your children bringing home like their boyfriends or girlfriends, you either try to like ruin their relationships. You could be a karmic mother or a karmic father watching this probably. But it's like when it came down to your children bringing home like partners and people that they want to like date and stuff like that. You probably either tried to like break them up. You were probably talking shit about them or judging them a little bit too much, and it just became real rude and disrespectful. Um, you could have like you could have tried to like sleep with their boyfriend or their girlfriend or something like that, or their wife or their husband. It's like, I see like a mother here, and it's like when her daughter's not in the room, she gets up and goes and touches her daughter's boyfriend or her daughter's girlfriend or whatever the case may be, and get all touchy feely. Like, you probably like to walk around the house like in some real revealing type of clothing that shows off like your body, making you look more busty or more bulgy or whatever the case may be. It's like you really kind of just went overboard. You need to stop. Um, and then on top of that, you did it in like even sneakier ways. Like you probably like went out of your way to like you only did this behind like your child's back, not in front of them, which came across like very creepy, but then also kind of like messed up, because it kind of put you and your child in competition for a partner now. And it got to a point where I think this person they could have like dubbed you or curved you or whatever the case may be, as in like your child's girlfriend or boyfriend or whomever, they could have pushed you away because they knew that it was like the wrong thing to do, regardless of how weird or how very porn like this may come across. We have the page of cups out here. You are like a source of inspiration for someone, but in order for them to like, and that's for your child, obviously, but you're a source of inspiration for your child, like for creativity. This child could like to write stories or scripts or something like that. Someone here could be writing a book or a movie or just creating stuff based off of their own trials and tribulations. Like I see maybe someone here could be a fashion designer, and they're so used to having like hand-me-down clothes and like ripped up clothing that they went out and made their own version of it. But it's like they're tired of just being around you because they feel incredibly smothered by you. They feel like you don't mind your business. It seems like I feel like you could be the type of parent or just the type of person where it's like maybe the only thing that you have to cling on to is like work and your children, and just like being a parent, like being a parent is probably like the vast majority of your identity, and as a result of that, it's like you overstepped a lot of boundaries because you never chose to build a life for yourself, and I feel like this is just your karma for doing that. Like you, as part of like being an adult and just living life, you're gonna have to create a life for yourself outside of your kids, so that way when it's time for them to get up and go do what they got to do, you have time for it. And I also get the sense that, my apologies, my camera had cut off per usual. I'm only saying that because I don't remember what I was about to say. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm sorry. But I'm gonna put this down here because I feel like I might have to revisit some of these cards because there were other messages that was coming through here. But another card that came out after the Page of Cups was the Tower in reverse. So this makes me feel like there were certain things about your behavior that just like flat out didn't change. It's like as your child, you could have been like the type of parent where it's like, maybe you grew up in not grew up in poverty. You were raising your kids in poverty potentially. But it's like, you know, I want them to go to the good school, the good colleges, the great stuff like that. And like you were like kind of like a good parent for doing that. But the issue here is with this is that you never change your actions. So it's like as your child is sitting here learning and developing and becoming like all these different things due to what it is that they're learning and picking up on from going to these good schools, from being around the people, from having the experiences that they had. It's like y'all didn't like match up even eventually. Like they understand your mindset, but in comparison to how you guys may think, this child could be like light years ahead of you because they chose to evolve when you did it. It sounds like you guys as parents are like pretty much stuck in the past a lot. And a lot of your like behaviors and actions and thoughts and things, they didn't change. And it kind of drove your child away. What's this? The Five of Pentacles. Your child felt left out in the cold and neglected by you. And neglect nowadays I think is considered to be a form of abuse. They felt like, I don't know, like I see like a child here like in their room like playing with their like dolls or whatever. And their mom or their father is like downstairs, like I don't know, they could be like, I don't know, throwing like some sort of adult party the child can't attend to, or just a party that has mostly adults in it while they should be sleeping or something, or you just downstairs watching TV, basically enjoying yourself and eating and having fun, and they're just upstairs like, well, where's my food? Like, what did I do with this? I mean, some of you guys might suffer from mental health issues. Maybe like when you came down to like raising a child, you never thought to look at the bad side, but you're gonna have to because you did that. Like, and we all have to look at our bad side at some point. But yes, you 10 on the clock as I said that. But yes, you're probably like so. Excuse me. You're probably so like in tune with the good side of yourself, and then just simply believing that you did nothing wrong as a parent, that your child can't. Your child can't they basically just can't believe it. It's like, wow, like he or she really did this. Like they think everything is so good. They think everything is so peachy and creamy, and here they go, like just they're ignoring everything that they had done wrong or gaslighting people to make sure that they don't have to deal with their own stuff publicly. I'm getting the vibes of like someone who could be like a grandmother at this point, and it's like they're wondering why their child doesn't talk to them, or maybe why their grandkids can't come see them. Or why like their child and their spouse don't like them, and then they're completely disregarding everything it is that they know that they did because they're too afraid to deal with it. When you're alone, you got all the time in the world to sit there and cry. I don't need to feel embarrassed, honestly, seriously. So it's like you're gonna have to see it at some point. That is what's going to lead to a transformation. Like I said, if you don't do it, you're gonna die bored. You're gonna die like bored and miserable, and you're gonna like. I see like you being like this type of person like who gets trapped inside of their house, or not necessarily trapped inside of their house, but it's like you don't know where to go outside of your house, so you kind of just like start drama in your neighborhood a little bit just to like make things happen, like yelling at kids for being on your lawn when they probably weren't even anywhere near it, or calling the police because you're too busy looking through other people's like windows, thinking like, oh my god, he's abusing her, and then nothing was really happening. It's kind of just like causing like a lot of trouble, things like that. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like you might go like mentally like crazy. We got the Ten of Swords in reverse here. Yeah, you guys are just choosing to not change. Like literally, it's like you're being very stubborn. Like your change is all mental, and just finally learning to look at everything for what it is. I feel like you guys might not be able to understand your emotions that well, or like you might not know what to do with your emotions, or you might not just know like there's this sense of you guys just like not wanting to change. It's like when I say you're resisting, it's like I see someone like lying in bed, like super depressed. They're holding onto the headboard as someone is pulling them out of it, and they refuse to let go. It's like, no, you're resisting. You don't want to go. You don't want to get up. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to admit that you were wrong because you're entirely too prideful. Excuse me, my apologies. Six of Swords in reverse. You're resisting a personal transformation. That was supposed to happen when you were like 20 something. There could have been, I feel like the universe has given you like pivotal moments in your life where you've had like a chance to change, and you said no. You have one more coming up, and it's literally right before you. Like I'm like it might literally be days away as you're watching this. Um, to change your ways, and I feel like it's gonna involve like you seeing your kids potentially again. But then it's like they get up and leave again because they're so tired of it. It's like that's your chance to say I'm sorry and genuinely like mean it. And if you don't like when you say this, I feel like regardless of how you say this, it might keep them stuck around for a while, and you might end up putting on an act. But if you don't genuinely change, they're gonna get up and go again. Like I feel like they've accepted you for who you are, but they're just tired of dealing with the game. So it's just like no. You're giving like literally like one more chance to I say I'm sorry, for a genuine apology, to be right, to admit the fact that you were wrong. Will you still be alone after this? Yes, but at least you're at like a better standing with your children, so internally you can feel better. Some of you guys could be very depressed and anxious, and by admitting you were wrong and looking at things for what they were is going to help you tremendously, even if it's just in the slightest bit. It'll help you enough with seeing things more clearly. It'll make you feel more lively. You're going to want to get up and start doing stuff. You're going to find strength from places that you didn't even know that you had. Because one thing I learned in life, them emotions that you keep trapped inside of you, they manifest into other forms of like health issues. So if you're walking around here with like arthritis or like knee problems and stuff like that, that's all stuff that's basically backed up. I think arthritis, because arthritis can happen in your hands. Your hands are connected to your heart, I believe. So it's like, imagine if you just like fix something in your heart and or heal something in your heart, and then all of a sudden like maybe some of your health issues go away. Like it works wonders for you. It didn't come out of nowhere. I don't care how inherited or whatever the fuck, it didn't come out of nowhere. All right, and then we got the Six of Cups in reverse. Um, this is like the energy of like something kind of like never happening, something that didn't happen before happening again. I see like your children wanting to like come around you and be around you more. Because like I said, I feel like they've accepted that, yeah, like you've done certain things to them, but like with an apology, it made them think like, okay, like he sees me, she sees me, they understand, and that's like a start, but it's not everything. You were meant to go through like several transformations already, and it's like they're still standing before you. And it's because you chose not to work on it. Something about the age of 26 is coming through here, where a person is supposed to like, I don't know, maybe your child is 26, or maybe when you were 26, something could have happened in your life where it's like, I just heard souls to the highest bidder. Some of you guys could have pimped out your child. Um, but yeah, that's honestly like why your kid left you. There was a lot of things that they had to put up with emotionally, mentally, spiritually that was like destroying them, and it's almost like because you're still operating from this like 12-year-old childish mindset, it kind of just like pushed them away, because while they were children, you were acting like a child yourself, and someone had to be the adult here, and they took it on, and it taught them how to be mature. So in a way, I guess I don't even want to say that because that's bullshit. Like, no, you should have been the adult, like growing up for this kid. You should have did what you had to do, because had you done that, like your life would have been, it would have done like a complete 180. Like everyone would love you, they'd have so much respect for you. You'd be tired and exhausted, but you'd understand like, hey, this is the road that I took on. You took accountability, you took ownership. Excuse me. I feel like that was your transformation at like that age of 26 or whenever. It was like a matter of holding yourself accountable, going to see a therapist, or simply talking to someone and letting them know like, hey, like certain things happen to me and I need to talk about them because I've been dealing with it for so long. There's a lot of shit. that you probably threw at your kids. Not too much to the point where I don't think they couldn't handle it, or maybe it went overboard like a couple of times maybe. But it's like, do the inner work, cry, whether if it's like after you watch this video or whatever. But it's like, this is your own fault. Okay, so that is your guys' reading. This is for my pile one. Please don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button when I post another video. If you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram is goodfelladom, my Twitter is goodfelladom, my TikTok is dom.thehealer. And if you'd like to make a donation to my channel or book a personal reading with me, all the information should be down in the description box below. My name is Dom, I go by Dom the Healer, and I'm moving on to pile 2. See you guys later. Bye. What is up, my pile 2? This is going to be a reading on why your children left you, your adult children, or hell, maybe your teenage children. Somebody left you. Alright. Adult children is what I'm hearing here. Somebody could be a chef or a cook. I feel like your kids probably loved it. Like, the one thing that your children may have loved about you was the fact that you could throw down in the kitchen, whatever you made. They might like breakfast on a Saturday morning. They might like Thanksgiving dinner or Sunday dinner. They love your food and your choice of foods as well. I see some soul food here. I see some Italian food. Somebody here could have like a vegan household. If you are not a love and light, you are banned from this reading. Please exit now. Only those of love and light are allowed to be here. If you are not a love and light, you are banned from this reading. Please exit now. Only those of love and light are allowed to be here. Angels, why did pile 2's children leave them? I heard sex abuse. They could have gotten like abused by like an uncle or like maybe like a boyfriend of yours or a partner. It doesn't even have to be a boyfriend. It could be a girlfriend too. Excuse me. When they were a kid, and I feel like I see like a little boy here who is like getting touched, and he doesn't like it, and he's like laughing, to kind of like, I don't know, like save face, like make it like he doesn't understand what's going on. And when he grew up and got older, and he finally, started having sex on his own and understand like, wow, like that's what happened. Like it was just like, no, like I gotta go and be alone. I see a girl here who could have like gotten like physically and sexually abused by someone because I see blood here, or that thing does happen. But yeah, like there's someone here got raped when they were a kid, and I feel like if it was the girl, it was like very very like emotionally just like it was emotionally like traumatizing for both boy or girl, whatever your child had. But it seems like for the boy, like they kept it like stuck inside. Both of these children kept it inside, but it's like they dealt with it in different ways. Like I feel like with the boy, I can't really see much of what's going on in the room, or I can now, but it's like I hear like a boy screaming, and then there's like a girl screaming as well. But it's like for the girl, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that for her was like much more worse, or just due to her reaction, like it came across much more worse. There's a lot of like bad things when I hear, and there's like blood. I see like a little boy. It's like whether if it's a man or a woman, it's like a little boy laying on the bed, and a man or a woman comes inside. They start like rubbing their hand across the bed, and then they start touching this person. Like for the boy, they start filling up on him. Guys, I'm sorry, excuse me, but they start filling up on him. For the girl, it's like she's like smacking like the hand, like don't touch me, stop touching me, stop touching me. That means to me this happened on multiple different occasions, likely for either child. This boy didn't know what to do. I feel like this boy could have gotten exposed to like sex at like a very. Both of these children were exposed to sex at a very young age. But for the girl, I see like it came from a partner, and for like the boy, from like a partner of yours, like someone in your family, because there's incest going on here. And then for the boy, I feel like they were probably around. This is like a boy who probably grew up in a family full of women who didn't know shit about men, but they went based off of stereotypes and thought to themselves like, oh well. He's a boy. He probably already thinks about sex already, or he's a boy. He probably thinks it's like that. That happens a lot because that people oftentimes approach, especially adult women, they will approach teenage boys and young boys and thinking that they're already sexual beings or they're already this. No, they're not. Like that stuff is taught to us. We learned it through TV and the men in our families and stuff like that. Where it's like you shouldn't turn on sex. They don't know about that. They're just learning it. They think that that's the way because what they were taught, but that's not it. Like we didn't pick up on that on our own. Like we're sexual beings too. But that doesn't mean that we go crazy like that all the time. But, people don't get that. They'll learn. But yes, it's like with this boy, it's like they were exposed to sex a lot, because they were probably like they hung around like adults, or maybe they had like an older cousin or older brother who showed them like porn or like naked magazines at a young age. So when it came down to them like having this potential experience, they already had like a preset mind to it, even though they felt very uncomfortable. This boy is like very out of tune with his emotions, and his like he lacks self awareness, so he doesn't realize exactly how bad this is. But he knows he feels uncomfortable. Well, he feels uncomfortable, but he doesn't necessarily know he's uncomfortable. He just sits back and like deals with it. This girl had to like this girl I see here. She was like fighting her way out, like trying to fight, like get off of me, like punching and kicking and scratching and clawing, and her being muffled, like hand over their face. Like this was like kind of like a violent sexual experience. And for the boy, it's like I feel like somewhere within this experience for them, they wanted to get up and get away, but they felt like they couldn't. I see them trying to run away, and it's like this man or this woman or this adult just like holds them back and it's like, get your ass back here. Like it's just like that. Like yeah, like butt raping. Okay, yeah, there's like there's some blood here. There was like butt raping. There's a bunch of stuff here. The hermit mode. This child felt left out in the cold and neglected, especially after all these experiences. Maybe this was probably like an only child, or just one of those children who for some reason kept to themselves. This could have been like the black sheep of the family. They were just different from everyone, because whoever this kid was, a male or female, I feel like they had like a lot of light inside of them, and they got touched. People saw the light and they were attracted to it. And they thought that, hey, well, I'm the adult, I'm the authority figure, so you do what the fuck I tell you. I don't like that type of energy, just in there telling like the kid what to do and like overexerting their authority and just pushing themselves onto them, literally. And all of this just like stuff that shouldn't have happened. Knight of Wands. Why did this child leave you? It's something about them kind of just like took off running. Like it could have happened when they were teenagers as well. This child could have ran away. They could have rebelled a lot because they hated staying stuck in the house with you. Because I feel like you were very like verbally abusive to them. You were very physically abusive. You could have smacked them a lot. You could have beat them a lot. And for many times, it was almost for like no reason. It's like you thought that your child was rebelling for no reason, but the truth is they were being touched. And I feel like you knew this, but you didn't care. This tells me that maybe you went through this and no one cared, and you never healed from it, and that's on you. Um, um, yeah, you need to go see a therapist to talk to someone yourself. It seems like you were forcing your child to do something, and they couldn't help but to want to rebel and be defiant because, like, really, like, no parent is perfect. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't feel the need to have to be like soft here. Like, no, like, and I heard this in like the previous pod too, but I didn't even mention it. There's like this video on the internet of this woman by the name of Tokyo Tony, who's the mother of like Black China. I keep hearing like when she says, she was like, "Oh, I don't give a damn if your mother sold your pussy to an army. You better show her respect." You're not getting that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like no, like there, you don't deserve that. Like I don't know if you have that mindset where you feel like no matter what the fuck happened in this child's life, whether if it was my fault or anybody else's, because it seems like you're not taking ownership. It seems like you don't want to hold yourself accountable. Yeah, this child kind of just like took off running as soon as they possibly could. This child could have grown up in the system. This child is dealing with a lot like alcoholism, like drug abuse, anything that can kind of like numb them a little bit from stuff like this because they don't know what to do. Like this child could have been silenced. They have no idea how to deal with their emotions. They have no idea of like anything like that, of how to deal with any of this stuff unless it has to do with like drugs or alcohol or sex themselves because it numbs their pain. There's a boy here who has like no like he has low self-esteem. He has no concept of like how to pick and choose partners. He just feels like, hey, like I gotta pick and choose anyone. There's a girl here who feels very uncomfortable with being in love. Like she has like a lot of love offers coming from like probably really really great partners, but she pushes them away because she doesn't know like how to accept love because she was never taught to herself, and she was raped. She was destroyed internally, so she's not comfortable having sex without having like some sort of a flashback. This girl could be in therapy. I feel like this boy could be seeking therapy as well. This boy could be like a bit of a womanizer, or a lot of a womanizer. Like they kind of just like stick themselves into anyone, raw at that, because they just don't care. Knight of Pentacles here in reverse. Your children got bored with you, I want to say. I feel like there was like a lot of abuse growing up, but then when they hit like their teenage, late teen years, preferably, maybe like their early 20s, things started getting like real boring and just like, you know, it's like it's almost like everything rested. Like they got so used to all of this trauma and they were so locked into it that they probably couldn't even see, like, they didn't understand like what peace finally meant to have in their lives. So with that having been said, they didn't like how do I say this? They don't know how to sit in peace, basically, because they're so used to having to deal with so much hecticness and chaos that they literally went out to go find it. So there's like a lot of sexual assault and like rape situations going on here for like preferably I think a boy. Also like that's for a boy or a girl. It's not just I keep like differentiating between gender, but it's like literally both children, both boy or girl. Hell, maybe some of y'all have two children that this happened to. But it's like they kind of feel like they have to go out and like experience this because that's the only thing that they kind of like know how to do or like that they're used to. This child can have like they have like a hard time like having like ambition and drive, and this is all like due to like fear. Like they're fearful of like putting themselves out there and telling them stories and being seen by people and heard for what it is that they've been through. So it's like they kind of just like they would rather end up in a bunch of different situations, like working at like a lot of shitty ass jobs instead of going to be like the entrepreneur, the dancer, the singer, performer that they've always wanted to be, and staying stuck within this energy of like working like shitty jobs, but then also just like they want to be fondled and touched by everyone now because they think that that's how sex works. Like if you're not aggressive enough with them to want to come up to them and touch them all over and potentially violate them even out in public, like they aren't gonna want that. These children have become like true outlaws, true rebels, things like that because they didn't receive the help that they needed. And I feel like they are seeking therapy. Like they know something somewhere deep down inside of themselves because I feel like these kids can be highly empathetic. These are like children of like the light, I want to say. But they feel like they need to seek out some sort of like therapy or like I don't know refuge or something to do that. And it's like I feel like they're going to get it, but they're moving towards it like very slowly because they're still not done with having to deal with this. I think they're going through some sort of like spiritual awakening where they're beginning to realize like, yo, this partner I'm with is like a little predator because there's someone here like a child that is probably like I don't know like 21. Let's say if they're 21, they're dating someone that's like a 51 or not even that. They could be like 16, 17 years old dating someone in their 30s. These children could be attracted to like very very like much older people because of what they've been through. um Eight of Pentacles in reverse. These children haven't fully like addressed their shadow selves. Camera cut off, my apologies, but yeah, these children have a tough time addressing like their shadow selves or their shadow aspects or the other side of themselves that put up with this. Like they're pushing their own trauma down, but it keeps coming back up, and I feel like it's coming for them. Like it's going to consume them to a point where they're going to have to sit down and deal with everything that they've been through. They're going to go through a big transformation. I do feel like they're going to forgive you. Will they want to come back into your life after this? Yes, they kind of just like accepted you for who you are after having gone through all of that. And they love themselves enough more to like kind of keep their distance, set up some healthy boundaries. If they have children, like their children probably won't come around unless they're with their parents or with their child, I should say. But yeah, there was a lot of abuse endured throughout this child's life. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of hecticness going on in the household that led them to feel like they had to be by themselves. This kid could have loved reading books as a favorite pastime. This kid, I feel like this child has like they have like a great imagination. That they may have like lost. I feel like they're gonna get more in tune with their inner child, but they can have like a very very vivid imagination, and it's like you saw it growing up within them, within their like within their drawings or within their writings or whatever they try to create, but they suppressed it because these children, I feel they know how to draw, they know how to paint. These kids are very talented. We got the Five of Wands. This child is also tired of the chaos. Even though they may go places looking for it because that's all they ever knew, these children are tired of the chaos that was going on within their lives, within their households. I feel like they are seeking peace, but maybe they started off doing it in the wrong way. The spiritual awakening is going to help them learn how to like look for peace because they found peace within themselves. Therefore, with them finding peace within themselves, they were able to find peace like externally. Like you guys could have grown up in poverty, and now all of a sudden this kid is like living in the suburbs or something like that, or like they're on their way to living in the suburbs. Yeah, like they grew up and they changed after having gone through stuff. Maybe college was like a pivotal moment in their lives for them. We have the Justice card here. This child is seeking things that feel fair to them, like they're in need of like a lot of justice. For what is it that happened to them, and they are emotionally towards someone. It's in the closet. But they could like they're seeking justice for what happened to them, and I feel like their justice is like one thing about like healing that could be like very very complex and very difficult to do. And I feel like this is also for you guys because remember, no parent's perfect. I feel like I'm being nicer than all the other pals I just did. But it's like one thing that I've learned is that like, you know, when no one defends you, you're gonna have to defend yourself, and that kind of thing can like be a hard pill to swallow, especially like being like an adult who's been through some trauma themselves. I feel like you guys have a lot of things to unpack within yourselves that you refuse to like deal with. I'm hearing you are not your past mistakes, so whatever it is that you did growing up with this child, you were just acting out of your own trauma. So it's like with you having had acted out of your own trauma, yeah, you created like a very chaotic household for your child, or a very chaotic childhood for your child. But like, I'm gonna get back to it. One thing I've learned about being an adult is like a matter of taking accountability. Like, yes, you were abused, yes, you were raped, yes, you were touched, but it's almost like, you know, this is tough to say. Even it's just like, why didn't you protect yourself? Why did you put yourself in that situation? Why don't you trust your instincts? There's a lot of things to like take into account here. No, everything is not your fault for what happened, and that goes for your child too if they're cross watching over here. That doesn't mean that like what happened, I want to say, was necessarily your fault, but there's a sense of having to take accountability because now you got to think to yourself like, okay, like, am I gonna sit here and cry about it forever and let it happen again, or am I gonna fight my way out of it because I'm not dealing with this again? Someone here can have like a father, like I feel like I see a child here, they have like a father that keeps coming back and touching them. And it's like, no, like you're gonna have to stand up to this person. This is a big ass angry man child who thinks he can have whatever he wants. Beat his ass if you have to. I don't care. But no, this child is looking for peace, especially with this being the Libra card. This child is looking for peace. They're looking for justice. They're looking for a sense of fairness. Seven of Swords, in reverse. This child is gonna go and tell their story, and they're gonna have to talk about you in like the negative ways, and you're gonna have to hear about this. But they're gonna have to reveal to people like what it is that they've been through, because I feel like that's him going on what they would call like an apology tour. Like they're gonna go around and apologize to every person that they fucked over, that they treated very wrongly, that they did bad, and things of that nature. King of Cups. This child is tired of like emotional manipulation. I feel like they themselves could have been also like emotionally manipulative to other people because they were more concerned with getting what they wanted. They were just acting reckless to kind of like have something to do. This child is pushing people. They were like pushing people away, like without realizing it, because the only way that they knew how to like be nice and make friends was just by being emotionally manipulative and mean. So it's like they are getting to a point where they're just like, nah, like I'm not doing this no more. Like my past mistakes don't define me. And I feel like that goes for you too, because I feel like whoever you are as a parent watching this, you came into this world with a lot of light in you. You came into this world with like a lot of light, and maybe you got like everything for you was like tarnished or destroyed by like a step parent or stepfather specifically came through here, or whatever type of experiences that you had growing up. Um, yes, there's a sense of like, I don't know, maybe did you scratch your children a lot? Because I feel scratches on the face, like a woman driving her nails into her daughter's scalp or their face or like their son's face. This boy probably picked like the wrong, I want to say, baby mother perhaps, and now he's on his way to find his wife and his soulmate. This girl is like learning to heal and slowly but surely like kind of like letting men into their lives more. Or like even girls, because I feel like they could have gotten taunted or teased and bullied like growing up, and they had to learn how to deal with that too. There was a lot of like things thrown at them. Apologies do need to be said. Recognition, accountability, responsibility, all of that needs to be held within both of yourselves, both you and this child. But then like, you know, you apologizing to them for not being there for them when these things were happening. And yeah, Page of Pentacles in reverse. There are some delays within your guys' relationships, and these are like gaps that the universe is basically providing. I'm hearing divine timing that are getting you to calm down and come to terms with this. Like, why did you let what happened to you happen to you? Excuse me. Why did you let what happened to your child happen to them? And also like understanding that it's not your fault that this happened. Basically, like it's kind of like very complex to sit here and say that with what it is that I'm talking about. You're gonna have to like forgive yourselves because you didn't protect yourself in that moment. You were probably looking for someone else to do it. And that's like a big mistake I feel like everyone makes, because as a child, it's like you do think your parents are supposed to protect you. You think the adults around you are supposed to protect you. But adults can get real stupid sometimes. Like they want to act out their own trauma too and just cause trauma just for the sake of doing it. Fuck them too. I mean, fuck whoever did what they did to you. Fuck whoever did whatever it is that they did to your child. Like you need to hold people accountable and hold yourself accountable, as does your child, because they're already holding you accountable. They're gonna have to forgive you. You're gonna have to forgive your abuser. That's just how life is. Everybody makes mistakes, and that's why I feel like I gotta be a little bit more softer now, because I'm understanding like, okay, like you're a parent, maybe you didn't know what you were doing, maybe you did. Everybody makes mistakes, all right, but it's done, it's over with. There's nothing you can do about it. We're gonna have to move on. Four of Swords. Yeah, you need to be like a little bit in like the Four of Swords energy. This has to do with being content, but it's like, yeah, you need to learn how to be more emotionally content with what happened. Come to terms with it. Sit down, deal with it, cry about it. I feel like I just heard 45 days or 31 out of 31 days. The song by Future. Like you might be like learning how to sit alone and deal with your emotions and cry and just be like that lazy energy of not having to do nothing and just deal with your emotions. I feel like maybe you never dealt with your emotions like this before, or maybe you have, but you're kind of like learning a little bit more. Like, hey, you don't always have to be up and doing stuff. Maybe this child is learning that as well. Overall, this child left you because they just couldn't take what was going on no more. But it's like, yeah, just learn to sit with yourself and cry for as many days as you need to, days, nights. Yeah, days, nights, whatever the case may have been, whatever the case may be, you're gonna have to sit here and deal with your own spiritual awakening and understand what type of parent you are, what type of person you are, and differentiating this. Because I feel like you could be a good person, you just may have not been the best parent. Um, huh. But yeah, you're gonna have to sit alone for some time. I don't think that this child is coming back into your life, or if they do, it'll be through like phone conversations. With you having your own spiritual awakening, it's gonna wake you up and learn how to deal with like things in your own life and have fun on your own. Really. This was like a pretty unbalanced household, like a very unbalanced relationship. And especially in regards to like giving and receiving. Well, this child could have been like breadcrumbed a lot by you like their entire life, whether you guys realized it or not. You guys could have had that mindset where you feel like, you know what, they should just be grateful that I gave them something. Like there's no reason as to why, and you always had to constantly reprimand them like, hey, well, you should just be grateful, or like, hey, stop being selfish. You guys were the selfish one. You guys were the ungrateful one. Children are like kind of like, I feel they say children are entitled to stuff. And although I think that that's true, I also feel like it's untrue, because it's like they didn't ask to be born. Like they're here. Like of course they came to you asking for certain things. What was they supposed to do? Like but yeah, there's like a lot of like unbalance between your guys' relationships. I feel like I want to say expect a phone call from them sooner or later, most likely later. But it's like when they're done dealing with what it is that they need to go through, I do feel like they're gonna want to call you. They're gonna want to talk to you. I don't see them like physically. They might come physically see you, but I don't see this happening much. You're just continuing. You're gonna have to live a life. I see you starting a garden or something, like working on your house and like doing things that you can do in the house, or like going outside, traveling, doing something to kind of like change your ways or something like that, and telling people your story. Like, hey, I wasn't the best parent either, so please don't make the same mistakes that I did. You guys are strong, okay? Every parent makes mistakes. Sometimes parents, they don't put their children first. It happens, all right? And that's me being nice, honestly. Uh, yeah. Six of Swords here. You guys are leaving this like energy, this past version of yourself behind, and moving into calmer waters. I feel like this was also some way, in some way, shape, or form, a part of your karma in this lifetime that you need to learn, as well as your child. Like your child is like going through spiritual awakenings, like probably like in their early 20s or like or 30s as they watch this. You guys could be like maybe in your 40s or 50s watching this. Take it how it resonates. Yeah, there's some spiritual work, powerful spiritual work happening within both of you at the moment. But that is your guys' reading. So if you like the book of personal reading with me, or make a donation to my channel, all the information should be down in the description box below. Please don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I post another video. If you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram is goodfelladom, my Twitter is goodfelladom, and my TikTok is dom.thehealer. Alright, so I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please go work on yourselves. Please forgive yourselves. Forgive your children. Forgive your abusers. Forgive those who abused your kids. Forgive everyone. Forgiveness is needed. A lot of more like pure angel, high vibrational energy is needed within this. Sage and cleanse your house. I see that happening. Something about lemons is coming through here. I don't know. Maybe I like to use pine sol when cleaning, or just some type of lemon scented thing to clean your floors, or I'm saying like money wash, money floors, whatever the case may be. Whatever y'all are interested in, just like do it and like cleanse the energy that's in your household, because there's probably some demons or somewhere stuck in like a room, your child's room or something like that, flying around waiting to be saged the fuck out. All right, so I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll move on to pile 3. Bye guys. What's good, my pile 3? This is going to be a reading on why your adult children left you. Please don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I post another video. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or make a donation to my channel, all that information should be down in the description box below. Make a donation, description box. Y'all, I got my whole spiel. It's like a little script in my head. Hell, I even wrote it down. So, but it's just, yeah. If you would like to make a donation to my channel or, excuse me, what is it? Book a personal reading with me. All the information is down in the description box below. And if you want to follow me on social media, my Instagram is goodfelladom. My Twitter is goodfelladom. My TikTok is dom.thehill. Alright? So, without further ado, we're going to get into your reading on why your children left you. If you are not a loving light, you are banned from this reading. Please exit now. Only those loving light allowed to be here. Angels, why did the children leave my pile 3 here, Spirit? Why did pile 3's children leave them? We got the King of Cups in reverse. You guys could have been like very emotionally manipulative to them. Yeah, within both their childhood and their adulthoods. There was like a lot of well, how do I say this? This isn't the worst pile thus far from what I can see. This makes me feel like for you guys, there was like a lot of emotional abuse and manipulation in a lesser degree in comparison to like pile 1 and 2. But this makes me feel like there was some sort of like emotional abuse or manipulation going on here, and this child woke up to it and just like left. You got the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. They went to go work on their 10 of Cups and like their emotional fulfillment and what made them happy. I feel like for them it could be like being a pet parent or maybe an actual parent. I'm not seeing that too much. Something about a dog is coming through here. They could be working on like their financial stability, emotional stability. They could be in therapy, just working on themselves in general. But I feel like in you guys' household, maybe you emotionally manipulated your child. I'm looking at my dog. She's like on my bed staring at me. Yeah, 5 of Wands in reverse. This child was tired of all of the conflict and chaos, so they just packed up their things and left whenever they knew that they could. They left due to like a job, I think. Maybe like they had like a job offer in like a different state or country or town, part of the town or whatever it is. They had to get up and leave you guys. Some of you guys could have had like a family business with your child, and they were just like, okay, like they could have sold their percentage, or maybe they took it and just left and never did anything. But like I said, this isn't like the worst pile. All I see here is like emotional manipulation, which is still a bad thing. Don't get me wrong, but there's something about this pile in particular that comes across like the abuse for them, the neglect for them was in like a much lesser degree. Like they had it easier than the first 2 piles, but that doesn't mean that they had it easy at all. There's something about this pile where it's like almost like not much happened, maybe, or maybe much did happen. But there were some things that they saw that they witnessed that was like a little bit too much for them. And they were just like, no, like I know better. I need to go up and do better. I'm getting smoke in my eyes because I have my ashtray on the floor and it's still burning and it smells like maple syrup. I don't know why. I'm like the happiest. I feel like doing this reading, like the piles, like the way that things have just been unfolding. I thought like in the first pile, like maybe I was a bit too harsh. In the second pile, I was like, I was harsh, but I lightened up a little bit. And this one, it's like I'm really light. Like I don't know why. Maybe because I don't think that this, like, whatever happened between you and this child, like, I hate to downplay people's, like, trauma, but it wasn't much in comparison to, like I said, those two. But, like, you know, there was emotional manipulation and things like that going on in your household, and this child was, like, tired of dealing with that, so they just had to get up and go. We got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This child is working on their shadow side. They're working on their inner selves because I feel like they could have gotten into some friendships or relationships that were like toxic, and it revealed certain parts of them that they didn't know that they had. Like they're beginning to realize how emotionally manipulative they've been to other people because they could have picked that up from you. They're beginning to like learn how to change their ways, and it's hard for them to want to go with them. But I feel like it's gonna get to a point where the universe is gonna slow them down and be like, look, like you need to deal with this. This child left you because they couldn't just like continue to like put up with what was going on. They needed to go out and explore. I feel like this kid could have felt trapped growing up. Maybe like when they were in the house, they felt like they couldn't go anywhere, they couldn't do anything, and now they're at a point where it's just like the universe is giving them the opportunity to live the life that they want to live. But it's like, hey, like before you do that, we need you to sit down and deal with certain things because you have a lot of mommy and daddy wounds that are going to end up ruining what we're going to give you if you don't fix it now. They left you to basically go focus on themselves, like I said with the Ten of Cups. Get their own emotional fulfillment, make them own selves happy. Five of Pentacles in reverse. This child is being prepared to go back into the world and live and get like genuine friendships and good people in their lives that they can keep. It's up to them if they want to keep it. But that's like mostly their business. This child could have felt like left out in the cold before. When it came to having friends and stuff like that, maybe some black magic was done on them. Maybe somebody like a parent, you could have, as a parent, you're probably like very jealous of your child and you didn't want them to have friends or an emotional support system outside of you. So with this Five of Pentacles in reverse here, I feel like they're gonna get the emotional support system and all of that stuff like outside of you, and they're gonna like leave you alone. I don't see them coming back that much or at all, really. Like if they come back, it'll be like once or twice, and it's just to get some stuff from like out of their house, out of the house that you guys like lived in or that they grew up in. Other than that, I don't see them coming back much. I just heard don't throw their stuff away. But this child, they wanted to go live their own lives and focus on themselves because they couldn't get that much emotional fulfillment while being at home. They could have met some friends in high school or in college that they're now like becoming a bit more cool with, or maybe those are the karmic friends that taught them about themselves. And then like I feel like they're gonna come into like a whole lot more new people who are all more mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, all that stuff stable, and they're gonna admire this and like develop into one of them as well. They might become like the breadwinner of their friend group if that makes sense. I don't know. But they're tired of dealing with certain things. Excuse me, sorry. All of these cards are in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. This child is pulling back their energy. They're learning how to be more selfish. That's why they had to leave you, because they felt like they were probably giving to you entirely too much, or just living in the little fishbowl that you created for them entirely too much, and they just had to like break out of it. And that required them to have to retract their energy. I feel like this kid, maybe growing up, they felt powerless, like they always had to like listen to you, but they had to call their energy back in. And once they did, that's when they started like being more hard headed and like I guess being more disrespectful or talking back or speaking their minds, as I would like to call it, or just doing things of that nature that could have upset you a lot, and it added some turbulence to your guys' relationship. Then with those lights, like when they blink like that lets me know that it's a yes. From like the other side, or from my angels, basically. But yeah, it's like this child needed help, whether if it was with homework, excuse me, or with emotional support. I feel like you guys didn't do that for them. You could have kept them trapped in like you didn't want them to have friends or any emotional support system outside of them because you didn't want them to see how they were being treated by you. Yeah, this is still a bad pile. I feel like you as a parent, you also could have been like very selfish to this child. Very selfish. Putting your needs before theirs, your relationships before theirs. You gave into like your desires. Thinking of like a Taurus. You could be a Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or someone who could be a Taurus, but they gave into like the simple pleasures of life and like indulged in it and got like a little lazy within it, sex and drinking and all that other stuff. And your child used to sit back and like I see like a kid here and they're like jealous because they're not getting any attention and you're giving it to your boyfriend or your girlfriend. They just don't like that. Page of Swords. This child, I think, is meant to be like a public speaker of some kind, sharing their story or their ideas with other people. They're gonna tell you. Are they telling you? Now, this person, there could be like a mentor going around helping people who have been through what they've been through. This person could love children, or they could like mentor people with their friends or just do a lot of stuff. But with this Page of Swords, I'm getting this vibe of like this child they're definitely educating themselves on what they went through. I'm hearing like something about psychology or psychological. They're educating themselves on what they went through. They're teaching themselves a lot of stuff. They're going through what they need to like go through. This person's evolving, but for the better. They're changing for the better. They're growing mentally and emotionally, and they're able to like fully grasp life more. And they have more of an idea on what they want in their life, and just like they're more open to different things that maybe they couldn't have been when they were under this umbrella that you kept them under this fishbowl you had them in. And literally, it's like a fishbowl cracking and a fish like growing because they don't fit in that bubble anymore. This child couldn't continue to play in the little playground that you set up for them no more, so they just had to go. We got the Seven of Cups reversed. This child is breaking out of disillusionment. Maybe like growing up, you put certain things onto them. You projected like certain needs or ideals onto them that as they grew older, they began to realize weren't true. It was just something that you did for them. They were like probably embarrassed because I see like a kid in school where they start saying certain things and people are looking at them like they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like you live like that? Like you think that way? And it scares them because it's like, wait a second, like everybody isn't like that. This child is breaking out of their like disillusionment of who they thought they were or who they thought that you were. They're seeing things for what they are now, which is something you wouldn't like. I'm hearing like the veil is thinning, like they're seeing like the dark magic or the black magic that was casted upon them. Um, I think you guys like as parents, you could have been like a narcissist maybe. There's something about you that's like I don't know. Maybe you could be very jealous of your child, and maybe you never wanted to be a mom, or maybe you never wanted to do what it is that you wanted to do. I don't know what it is. It's like you kind of just chose. It's almost like you thought your child was the villain, so you said to yourself, fuck it, I'm gonna go and do what I want to do, and well, you just gonna have to sit here and deal with it. You're gonna be alone. Like you had to sit here and like try to control them while you went out and had your fun. And now it's like this kid is now learning how to have their fun, and you see it as a threat to you, or they're making their own money. You see it as a threat to you. Get over it. Like I don't know what to tell you. This child is gonna grow up and become who they want to be. Like or this child has grown up and became who they wanted to be, and that's your fault for not doing what you. Yeah, guys, sorry, but that's your guys' fault for not having had been there. So like that's basically why they left you. This kid is like seeing things for what they are now. It's like this is like a Cinderella story, like being trapped inside of a castle. Or something, some type of dark fairy tale where you gotta wait for somebody to come rescue you. This child chose to rescue themselves. Um, I'm thinking of this song in my head. That I'm not gonna mention. But let's keep moving forward. Ace of Cups in reverse. This person felt like they weren't receiving any love from you. This child felt like they weren't receiving love from you. They felt like they weren't getting enough from you. And it's probably like angers you on the inside. I don't know to hear this. But yeah, this kid didn't feel like they got any love from you. Like, and this is the Ace of Cups in reverse. Like, this is like no emotion whatsoever. Everything in your household was probably like very, very logical. You could be an air sign. Somebody who could be like a Gemini mother or father watching this. But there was like a huge lack of emotion or emotional support. But it's like you kept trying to pull them back from getting that from someone else as much as you could. Unless this person was just, unless they became friends or got into a relationship with someone that was just as toxic as you, so that way you could like bond with them and use them to your advantage as well. You could be a karmic parent watching this. It's like yeah, like that's really just what it is. You didn't want them to have an emotional support system outside of you, and the only people you let in their lives or wanted in their lives. You could have staged stuff for them or like forced people to be friends with them. The only people you wanted them in their lives were people who were just like you, who would have ruined them. And kind of in a way that you did, because you didn't want your child to experience true love, because you felt like they shouldn't have gotten that from anyone except for you, from anyone except from you. Huh. But then it's like you wanted that for them, but you didn't show it to them. The Hangman, this child had like a whole change in perspective on just the world and just on life in general, and just like switched everything around from how they chose to view it, and now they're viewing it in like a much more positive sense, or in a way where they're allowed to be a lot more calm and like happier. It's like they're building their own world right now, but like they kind of excluded you from it. Like the most I feel like you could expect from this child is like a phone call and like a visit back home to get their stuff. Like I feel like there's nothing else. Like your healthcare like system for yourself or whatever. It's like gone. Unless you like admit your own self into like a nursing home or something, I feel like you don't have much to take care of yourself with. Let's keep going. Yeah, we got this strength card. This child found strength within their heart, within their emotions. They're choosing to follow their heart. They found strength within themselves, like in a place that they didn't even know that they had. Because with them, without them having had like an emotional support system, I feel like they became their own emotional support system. So they don't depend on anybody really, especially when it comes to that. Like they don't need a shoulder to cry on because they know that they're strong enough to handle this. I feel like they had to handle this within your household. There could have been like some emotional abuse once again with the King of Cups in reverse. A lot of emotional abuse, a lot of manipulation. I feel like you could have put your hands on your child, like you would have tried to smack someone in their face. You could have yelled a lot. It's almost like you were just like so angry with them. But really, you were just angry with yourself because your child, like, I want to say either they married you or you thought that your kid was better than you. And in return, it's like you thought that, well, I think they're better than me, so they must think that they're better than me. It's like you felt like you were in competition with your child, like you were very jealous of them. I don't know, maybe something about their path was just like different than yours that you thought was just like filled with so much more light, and you didn't want them to have it. So you said from a very young age, no, like, I don't want you there. Like, no. So I'm going to stop you at all costs. And it worked for a while, but this kid, all it did was just give this kid time to plot on how they were going to get out of you. College was a way out for them. Money was a way out for them. Being an entrepreneur, starting a business, being a social media influencer, telling their story was a way out for them. Page of Swords, telling their story. Okay, Six of Wands, yeah, this kid has like a newfound success and victory, and you're not included. It's like you're kind of like left behind. You have to sit back and watch them through the internet. Because that's like the only way that you can reach them. And I feel like it's gonna get to a point where you're very obsessed with them. I'm not seeing much healing here for you. I feel like either you don't want the healing, or like I said, you might be a karmic. So unless you deliberately choose to heal yourself, like you're gonna be stuck within this energy of being obsessed. And like there's things that are coming for you, like demons and stuff that they're gonna get you. They're gonna attack you with your health, your physical health, but also like your mental health and your emotional well being. They're gonna like make sure that what you did to this child is what's gonna be done to you. This is gonna come in a form of health issues like mental health issues and potentially morning sickness and some form of like chronic disease like cancer or like someone here might have kidney disease. Uh, you're gonna have like trickster spirits like moving stuff around your house, little things that you know you're gonna need. You're gonna forget about things. It's almost like you're gonna be driven crazy to the point where it's like the demons are gonna like strip you so much of like your conscious mind, I want to say, or like your sense of reality of what this world is, to the point where it's like you're gonna be able to physically see them, and like they're not. It's like I see someone like lying in bed, and they're surrounded by like these black, angry, evil, demonic figures, literally like around your bed and like underneath you, and perhaps even like on the ceiling, like overlooking you, like the devil. It's like they're coming to collect. They're coming to get you, and it's gonna come in the form of like pain. Your house might burn down. Take this how it resonates. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, they're coming to get you because of like what you've done. I think not because I'm seeing. Okay, I do see a belt here, so maybe I did beat your kid. Maybe not that much. There's something about you, like maybe I don't know, because I'm not getting it. Maybe there's a sense of mystery to you. Like this child, I feel like they're kind of like left out in the cold when it comes to like what it is that your story is. Like they don't know too much about you or what you've been through. Like you've hid everything from them, but you've kind of like exposed everything about your own children. You are probably like the type of parent where it's like you sitting here, at the table talking about like I don't know why, but something about like how you have no money. That's one thing, but another thing is like you telling everybody about how dirty and disgusting your children are, and you're neglecting the fact that they're your children. So it's like they're dirty and disgusting because of you. And I'm just calling it like I see it. Like that's how I see it, really. They're coming to get you. They're gonna like strip you, like something or someone's coming to get you. I feel like it's the devil. Like they want your soul, but it's gonna come in like a painful way. Like I see a person like lying in bed. Like I said, they're surrounded by demons all around them, and they're like ripping you apart. Literally, like and not even in like a metaphorical sense, like a literal part. Like body parts being broken, or like you kind of like your stomach basically exploding. Like it's like very harsh. You're like welcoming you back to hell. Someone here could be like an ancient evil old witch or an evil high priestess. They're coming to get you. There's nothing you can do about it because you're being isolated. Like you're gonna get so angry and obsessive to the point where it's like no one's gonna want to deal with you because of how crazy and uncomfortable they feel around you, or how you make them feel. And yeah, you're gonna be taken. Okay, so the last card here, literally, I'm talking about the devil. The devil card came out here, and look at how his hand is out. Like he wants you. Like this has to do with addictions and stuff like that as well. You guys could love to drink or smoke or just have a lot of sex. I feel like you guys are gonna be like very, very drunk around these time periods, obsessed. Your child might have to like block you on social media because I feel like you're gonna be like talking a lot of shit to them through DMs and like comments, and it's just gonna be too much for them to deal with. So they're gonna like block you and continue to go live their lives. Your child is like an angel, and maybe you are like the physical manifestation of the devil, or a part of him at least. He's calling you like back home, basically. Um, and I feel like I'm being called to stop here. Yes. So I hate that I'm stopping here because is it too early, angels? Outside of this card, I'm not seeing much else. Like you're just basically being called back home, if you know what I mean. Like for whatever deals that you made, like this is the price that you're gonna have to pay. And I feel like that's the end right there. Like, yeah, you're kind of just getting what's coming towards you. It's like everything you sent out is coming back for you, like all at once, essentially. All right, but if you would like to book a personal reading with me or make a donation to my channel, all the information is down in the description box below. Please don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I post another video. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram is goodfelladom, my Twitter is goodfelladom, and my TikTok is dom.thehealer. I will see you guys later. Have a good one, guys. Bye.